As a woman, why do you feel that you're not threatened with abortion policies? Like, I understand, you feel a sense of vulnerability when participating with trans women or men, as you consider, in sports. Why do you feel that these policies and these, concepts don't threaten you?
Because I think children are the greatest blessing life has to offer.
If that's the case, why don't you think children are deserving of healthy environments? Like, honestly, can you confidently say that a woman who has a child who, the child was conceived under circumstances that were, not okay and very violent, and, I can't even imagine. How are you guaranteeing that this child is going to be happy and live a healthy life that's deserving?
Of course, I can never guarantee the outcome of someone's life, but what's a whole.
I gotta stop this. First and foremost, shout out to Riley Gaines. I believe she's seated next to Charlie Kirk over there at Turning Point USA. So shout out to Riley Gaines. She is a super dope individual, at least from the outside. I don't know her personally, but thank you for the work that you have done, for being one of the first people to stand up for women's rights in a very long time, right? You are the true feminist who is actually standing up for women. How ironic is that? But anyway, it's interesting to me how every time this conversation of unaliving their newborns comes up, is they love to conflate it with all these other ideas. So it's like, but what if the child's not born into this, and this type of situation? They don't actually care, because in more cases than not, the reason why they're unaliving their children is because they're using it as a form of contraception. So it's not because they genuinely don't believe they can give the child the best life. It's because they don't want the child to ruin their life. Let's be real. The child is seen as an inconvenience. And I'm not saying that a child doesn't ever feel like an inconvenience. I'm not saying that your baby is not going to get on your nerves sometimes and you feel like, damn, I wish I could just have maybe a year, 2, 3, 5 years break from this. But nevertheless, as a parent, that child is a blessing, even in the moments where it doesn't feel like a blessing at all. Even in the moment when you have another favorite child, the child who is not exactly your favorite in that moment is still a blessing to you. Unless you're a complete psychopath, which unfortunately a lot of women have been brainwashed by this liberal agenda. They've been radicalized to be so anti-female, anti-feminine, anti-child. I never would have imagined that I would see a day where women, I'm not even talking about Jeffrey Dahmer type. I'm not talking about the maniacal psychopath male. I'm talking about women who have been given this beautiful ability to bring life, to bring forward life, to continue our damn species, that women would become the most anti-child and use all of these fancy disguises, women's reproductive rights, all these euphemisms that are used, instead of just saying, yeah, I want to unalive my baby because, I would rather crunch numbers and get to the bag.
A whole lot worse than giving someone a chance is eliminating that chance altogether by ultimately terminating their life.
Are you eliminating that woman's chance of fulfilling her dreams and fulfilling?
I told y'all, I have not watched this video. Sometimes I seem like the Negro Damas. You understand me? Just seeing into the damn future. I cannot make this stuff. At least she's honest, because first she wanted to start with, quality of life. It's about the quality of the baby's life. We care so much about the baby. No, you don't give a damn about that baby and the baby's quality of life. Y'all don't want kids because y'all become anti-child. And I believe that pill is also having a drastic effect when the hormones are all off whack. And that's a whole nother conversation to have. But the ones who know, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You might even share your experience in the comment section below. But what about mama's dreams? Do I believe that a child is a hindrance to one's fulfilled life? No. Well, it's easy for you to say because you don't have to carry. It's easy for you to say because you don't have to go through what I go. You're absolutely right. I don't. You're absolutely right. But I still hold on to that very same opinion. I believe that a child is an enhancement to your life. I believe a child can be an opportunity to become even more than you are right now. Just like a relationship, a truly committed relationship with two functional adult human beings. Wifey has made me a better man. And I'm not saying because I wouldn't be a good man without her. I'm not saying I wasn't fulfilled, but I'm saying that I am stretched to become far more than I've ever been. I am pushed, in essence, because now I'm responsible for not just me. And that's the exact same phenomenon that a child will have on your life. You know, if you're selfish, if you're fully egotistical, if you are just absorbed in self, as a lot of people, not just young women, but just people in general are in this day and age, then you won't get it. It won't make sense to you. If you are just satisfied with instant gratification and pleasure, it's not going to make sense to you. But if you understand that the quality of your life long term is directly affected by the things that you build over long term relationships, as much as, you know, you talk about your career. I mean, they can understand that with a career. They're willing to give 50 years, 40 years, 30 years to this career, but not to give 18 to a child. I don't know.
For life, woman to woman, Riley, how do you justify, putting this almost shackle on women?
I am so sorry that you are led to believe that children are shackles on your life. I would argue there are many parents here, mothers, fathers who are here who would not look at their children as shackles. Again, they would look at them as the greatest blessing life has to offer.
You can't explain rain to the desert. That's a bar. Mic drop. You can't explain snow. Well, you can explain snow to the Eskimo. Another bar. Mic drop. She just cannot understand. And I believe there's a genuine belief in what this young woman is saying. She is on a college campus. She is indoctrinated as well as partially educated. Intellectually smooth-brained is what I'll call it right now. She is intellectually smooth-brained, and that's a lot of what's going on these college campuses. They radicalize these kids. I believe that there's a statistic saying that there's 140 or 150 liberal professors for every one conservative professor on most of these college campuses. And if you break it down into the departments, it's just become an absolute shite show. It's become a peanut gallery over there on those campuses. Let's bring peanut gallery back, shall we? Let's bring that back. I heard that was racist, so I will be using that again because I aim to trigger. But all seriousness, I there's a part of me that feels bad for some of them, and then there's some who are just so evil, like they celebrate unaliving their young. And I did a video where a woman, she got a cake, and she was literally basically shooting her child into a basketball hoop. There was a woman in the parking lot, and she was talking about F this baby, dancing around, swigging whatever liquor that she was drinking with her so-called friend, her demon in her demon in crime. It's really, really heartbreaking to see where we've gotten, though. So the one wish I have is that we come back, that we return. Because I know this is a conversation that, oh, man, you're not allowed to have. You don't know this. No, we're going to have the conversation as a whole, because there is in part a responsibility of the man, right? There is a fear in some circles, some demographics to say, is that man even going to be around? Does this man even, what is going to lead to him having to commit if he doesn't have to carry the child, etc., if he doesn't even have to be bonded to the child in the same way the mother is? And I get that fear in the same way a lot of men fear, well, if I marry, what if I lose this and this? What if she turns on me, etc.? Yes, life is a risk. Guess what? From the moment we got here, it was a risk. We are guaranteed 100% that we are all going to die. But while we're here, living this life out, which I believe is a gift, some may believe otherwise, I just, again, for any young women listening, please, 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 please consider this. Though your entire identity is not, oh, I am a mother, know that if you have the ability, I'm going to put that first. If you have the ability to bear children, if you have the ability to be a wife, it will bring greater fulfillment in the long term. You might not see it in the immediate. Instant gratification is just, it's everywhere. It's in every orifice of society. Everything is now. Relationships have become discardable. But I promise you, whoever has ears to hear this, to be a wife and a mother, in the same way, fellas, to be a husband and to be a father is a different level of fulfillment. And I didn't create this thing called life, but I know the one who did intended these institutions, intended these essential laws that are ingrained in our hearts to bring the greatest levels of fulfillment. No amount of money made will make up for it. No career that you build will make up for it. And I've heard countless times with people at every walk of life, at every level, to say, I made millions of dollars doing this. I done traveled the world. I done did this, built that. And still, this is my most important job. So that can only be understood in the context of it. That's why I'm just going to leave that at that. But otherwise, yeah, good luck to this generation. Good luck to them. You know, she's going to fixate on her career for another 15 years and then look back. Hopefully she doesn't. Hopefully she's awakened in that moment. But, you know, pride is a mofo. And if she holds on to that pride, she will find herself on the other side with regret. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Now, if you'd like to stay around, make sure to click that little subscribe button down there, or you can show some love by going to the description below and clicking on the button titled Buy Me a Coffee. Leave a little something there, or click on the Cash App. Leave a little something here. Till the next time, peace.
I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light. You can see the life in him illuminate the night. I know the time is taking. A 3-6-5, that's a full rotation. I see you looking up, you know them constellations. Constantly gazing like house of praises, you get to praising.